Hey guys, this is Issues with Toddy One Skip. I am Toddy One Skip and you're not. And that's what Chevy Chase used to say, so I can't really claim that. But he was never Toddy One Skip, he was Chevy Chase. I'm Toddy One Skip. Guys, almost 15,000 of you, I keep saying that. And we just can't get there. I'm trying to get there. Guys, there's a lot going on and a lot has happened this week. The week of November, the last week actually of November 2024, and this is the day after Thanksgiving, and again a lot has happened, so I wanted to see if we can't maybe talk about a few things in this one little show. And I wanted to call this Weakley News, Weakley. And the reason why I wanted to call it Weakley, and people were like, don't you know how to spell? I do. I know that Weakley is Weekly. But the reason why I wanted to spell this Weakly was because of the weakness in it. It was a play on words. Play on words, if you will, folks. So this week, Week, in the news that we're going to call the Weakley Report, Weakley, so that you guys know it's intentionally misspelt. We're going to talk this week about Wendy Williams, Puff, P. Diddy, and Liam Payne. So these three news topics have more or less kind of taken over the news, with Wendy Williams being permanently incapacitated due to her dementia, and therefore I don't think there's any signs of her getting better. The conservatorship, the dictatorship that she's under, I think is going to continue. I don't know if we'll see any new pictures of her. I would say that the last show that they did on her, I hope that is not the way that we remember her. I hope that we can remember her as somebody who was vital in their job and somebody who had a lot of energy and a lot of drive, and was definitely into the tea, not so much into her own tea, as we know her marriage got exposed where her husband was cheating on her and impregnated a younger woman, and that was brought on for the whole world to see, and Wendy Williams tried to wear a brave face. And the thing about stress, something that we don't see, is that it does become something that we do end up paying for physically. So stress is something that we definitely pay for physically. I'm sure that we can agree with that. So while Wendy was going through her hardships and everybody was seeing them and people laughing and mocking, because Wendy dished the tea on other people, so what happens when the tea gets dished back? If you didn't show kindness in the way you dished it out, chances are you're not going to have a lot of people showing kindness in the way it's dished back out to you. I think people more or less call it karma, and there was a few people that called it karma. But hasn't it gotten beyond that, where now her health is definitely at stake, and we saw that in the shows she put out. We saw that when she showed us her feet on the air, and how big and how swollen, and how she was just not the Wendy Williams that we know, right? Not the Wendy Williams that was portrayed, but we saw the Wendy Williams that had flaws and was broken, and again, broken publicly in front of everybody to see. And did she wear it well? Did she carry it well in the middle of a breakdown? No. She basically had a breakdown that we all came witness to. And, what's going to become of Wendy? She's just going to dwindle off somewhere. And whatever kind of life she had is gone. And this new chapter is coming over. And dementia is a horrible thing. I can only hope that in the memories that she has, and while she's remembering it, that it's like Disney World in her head. That's the best I got. And I hope that her son can find peace with this and can be there for her. So now we're going to go to You didn't, Diddy. Is Diddy coming home for the holidays? Hell no. Diddy ain't doing that. I'll tell you why he ain't doing that. Because Diddy's been diddling with even younger people than we could have imagined. But that's not what's making Diddy stay in the joint for the holidays. They're afraid that he's going to continue, because he already has been, reaching out to witnesses and trying to keep them stumped by either paying them money and or threatening them to behave yourselves and shut up. That's what Diddy's saying, is you're not going to fuck up my case any more than it's already fucked up. I already did enough damage. Keep your mouth shut. But Diddy's paying. He's paying for all the shit he caused. And you know what? I think his days of breathing free oxygen are over. On the video of Cassie Ventura alone, I don't have a problem with that. But now we're hearing things about Diddy essaying children. A little boy, 9, 10 years old. But here's my question. Where's the parent of this little boy? How come we're only hearing about this stuff now? Why would somebody allow Diddy to put a price on their kid's body? Right? So the kid went there for a record deal, a modeling deal, and the kid wakes up after they've been allegedly drugged with their pants unbuttoned and a lot of pain down in that area that at 10 years old they shouldn't know any pain from. And it's sore and they're walking funny because that's the way it is. And what parent didn't say, hey, what the fuck happened? Whoa! What parent said, all right, well, give me $1 million and, we'll forget about what you did to my kid. When you mess with a child, you mess with their body, you're messing with their psyche, you're taking away the innocence of a child, you're taking away hopes and dreams and make-believe and that place where they're able to go when they close their eyes and dream of being anything they want. You're taking that away from them. And that alone should be punished to the fullest extent. But when you physically, on top of that, cause pain, something that will forever be an obstacle, a hurdle for a child to get past, and somehow a parent says, you know what, we won't say anything about this. Have you ever given any thought to the next child that comes in line? Because maybe if somebody would have said something about their child, maybe your kid wouldn't have had that happen to them. So you don't feel any obligation for the next kid. How do you live with yourself when you don't tell the police something? There's physical proof there. What happened? Did he threaten your life? What happened? Now's the time to talk. Now's the time to talk to make it all right. And if you kept your mouth shut as a parent and accepted money for this and didn't go to the police and you were complicit with this, you need to be charged as well. Because this is not okay. This is not okay at all. So Diddy, who they're just honestly afraid that he's just going to keep messing with people because he's already doing that. He's taking other people's phone cards in the jail, and he's making phone calls thinking that that's how they figure out who they're calling. He's such a fucking idiot. And, so now he'll sit there and he'll rot. And I say let him rot. Let him rot twice over. Because here's a man who's a dad. He's a dad to boys. He's a dad to little girls. He holds nothing sacred. So I really don't give a shit what happens to Diddy. He can H-A-N-G there. I don't give a fuck. He's a horrible human being. And May 2025 can't come fast enough for me. And I hope they throw the book at him. And his little cocky way and his smile, I hope it gets knocked out of his fucking mouth. What a piece of shit. To be running around all these years as a PDF file. Yeah. And you know what? If he wasn't P. Diddy, he would have been done and over with in jail already, because they don't like that shit. But I guess anybody with any kind of money, there's a price for everybody. Shame on the criminals even. Shame on the criminals. And guys, the third story I want to talk about is Liam Payne. So, we all know Liam from One Direction. I'm not a huge fan of One Direction. I'm a little old for them. But some of the voices were very good. And he had that, like, silvery, that voice that was reminiscent of Sinatra. It was velvety. It was sweet. It had a great personality of its own, his voice did. It was classy. And now it's gone. That's no more. The voice has gone quiet. Now, there were video and there were stills that came out with Liam, and Liam being physically picked up and brought back into his hotel room. Now, Liam kept saying, no, let me go. I don't want to be locked in my room. I don't want to be locked in my room. And now it's believed that Liam was trying to climb his way down. But that doesn't go with the autopsy. So the autopsy shows 25 separate bruises to Liam and no defense fall bruise. So in other words, he didn't have his hand out to block his fall, to stop his fall. So he would have had to have been unconscious or unaware that he was falling. The way that I saw these pictures of him, and you can look them up on TMZ, the way he was manhandled, and the call that came in through 911 or their equivalent of 911, their emergency services, was that they thought he was going to do something. He was going to, because there was a balcony in his room, and they thought he was going to do something. That's suspicious, right? Definitely suspicious. So, did somebody just beat the hell out of him and throw him out? Because how do you explain that he didn't even put his hand out to stop his fall? We do that automatically without thinking. And how do we explain that there was a bag found a couple days later on the floor right below? Like, well, didn't they do any investigation? Like, the investigation is completely off over there. And I also heard that perhaps P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Diddley was responsible for Jamie Foxx's illness. How widespread is the reach of Sean Puff Daddy, P. Diddy Combs? Brother Love. How do you call yourself Brother Love when you go around and cause so much torment? That's cultish. Very, very cultish. Do as I do. Do as I say, not as I do. Do not pay attention to the man behind the curtain. Guys, that's it in the weekly Weakley news. And I do know how to spell weekly, Weekly news. But we're going with Weakley news. Because it's all week what's going on in the news. It's not like it used to be, guys. Guys, this is Issues with Toddy One Skip. I am Toddy One Skip. Tell me what you think. What do you think now about Liam Payne's untimely death? What do you think now about Puff Daddy ever coming home? Let him rot, I say, let him rot forever and ever and ever. How involved do you think he is with everything? I don't think he'll ever see the light of day, and he shouldn't. Right? Right. Alright, guys, yeah, I'm interested in knowing what you think. What do you think about Wendy Williams? I don't think we'll be hearing much about Wendy anymore. I just pray she's taken care of the right way, and people are looking out for her. So much love to Wendy Williams, and I don't call this karma. You can have your tea and drink it too, and not end up like this. So I'm sorry that this is what's going on. Not sorry about Puff, the Magic Diddy boy. I'd love to see him just diddy it up there. Diddy for free in the joint. Alright, guys, be better today than you were yesterday. Not half as good as you'll be tomorrow. Always be kind, guys. Take care of yourselves.